I can touch my nose. I can touch my chin.
I've already shown you the most unusual things and phenomena from all over the world. Now it's time for the people. In today's video, we're going to look at unique, brave, inspiring, and simply amazing people. Let's go! Mackenzie Curran. If anyone can look at people from the top down, it's Mackenzie. This 17-year-old Texan grew to 208 centimeters. That's nearly 7 feet tall. But believe it or not, it's not her height that got her into the Guinness Book of World Records in 2021. It's her legs. Mackenzie has just amazingly long legs. The length of the left one is 135.3 centimeters, almost 4.5 feet, and the right one is 134.3 centimeters. And yeah, your legs are also different lengths. Something else to be insecure about. You're welcome. Well, so far, nobody has managed to break Mackenzie's legs record. A girl's legs make up about 60% of her body, and this is a lot. Of course, with such height and such long legs, there are certain problems. It can be difficult for her to pass through certain doorways, to get into a car, or to choose the right clothes. However, Mackenzie's long legs also give her a lot of advantages, especially when it comes to playing volleyball. She's already planning to go to college in the UK and get back into the Guinness Book of World Records, but as the tallest professional model in the world. We wish her good luck. Ning. Many consider a small waist one of the obligatory elements of a beautiful body. In the past, people invented corsets, and some have even learned to remove ribs to achieve these desired parameters. But Myanmar resident Ning seems to do without any possible cheat codes. Her waist is only 34.7 centimeters, just under 15 inches, and believe it or not, it's a little wider than it takes to get her into the Guinness Book of World Records. At the same time, it's about half the size of what is considered standard. Have you ever heard about the hourglass body type? Well, Sue looks exactly like this, without exaggeration. Sue often shares photos of her extreme figure on Instagram, and of course she constantly faces distrust. Some people say that she photoshopped it. Others say that she's had surgery and constantly wears a corset. Ning herself insists that her thin waist is the result of genetics. No independent measurements have been made so far, so it only remains to take the girl's word for it, or vice versa. Do you think it's true? Let us know in the comments. And while you're scrolling, like and subscribe too. Xingroufang, a 100-year-old woman who lives in China, knows how to surprise. She probably didn't do it on purpose though. No elderly woman I know means to grow a horn on her head, literally. Back in 2009, on the left side of her forehead, the skin thickened and then a bump appeared, and then a very real horn began to grow. Most likely it consists of keratin, which is the same substance our nails are made of. Yeah, a nail in the head. Thank you, nature. Normally, when these are formed on the human body, their length doesn't exceed a couple of millimeters, but Zhang's horn has reached 6 centimeters, which is almost 2.5 inches. It seems that grandma quickly got used to it, and even got attached to it, although in the beginning the horn prevented her from sleeping. Imagine having that thing growing on your head. And I was thinking, haven't any of her 7 children noticed that she changed just a little bit? Alas, Zhang spent most of her time alone, so family members didn't immediately notice the problem. And when they did, it was too late for their grandmother. She has refused to remove the horn surgically. Instead, apparently she began to grow a second horn on the other side. No, seriously, there it is. See it? Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find out how she's doing today. Zion Clark. The story of Zion Clark is one of those that is commonly told to show the incredible power of the human spirit. And it all began with the fact that Zion was born with an incurable disease. Caudal regression syndrome is a dangerous genetic disease in which the spinal cord, as well as all lower extremities and organs, stop developing at the level of the sacrum. It would seem that with such a diagnosis, you wouldn't even be able to think about sports. But one day, Zion found himself on tatami, quite an unusual choice. Surprisingly, the coach helped him to believe in himself. Zion is not one to look for excuses, and always gives it 200%. Today, the guy successfully wrestles and performs in the weight category up to 57 kilograms, or 125 pounds. Zion himself weighs about 45 kilos, or 100 pounds. All Zion's rivals are the most common wrestlers, which means that he has to make twice as much effort to defeat them. That's right, this inspiring young man deliberately doesn't join the category of people with disabilities, and he succeeds. Moreover, he doesn't stop at wrestling. Zion is studying to get a higher education, races wheelchairs, and even plays the drums. Success in sports and incredible incredible willpower have made Zion famous. And I think it's absolutely deserved. They started broadcasting stories about the young man on national television and even making short films. In the end, Netflix producers even bought the rights to a documentary in which Clark played the lead. Niacom Gatwick. Niacom Gatwick calls herself the Queen of Dark, and this title really suits her. The girl's skin has an incredibly beautiful dark tint, so unusual. It really attracts attention. Now, Niacom is a successful model with almost 1 million subscribers on Instagram, but her path to fame and acceptance was very long. Niacom's family fled South Sudan and had to go through a lot of trials in the United States. Niacom immediately felt how different she was from others. At some point, the girl even thought about brightening up her skin. Fortunately, this didn't happen. Niacom was able to love her unique beauty, and then she became famous for it all over the world. Sarah Gertz. People are willing to do a lot to keep their youth as long as possible. At best, it's a healthy diet and self-care. At worst, well, it's the abduction of the king's daughter. With all this pursuit of youth, Sarah Gertz wasn't lucky. The girl was only 10 when doctors diagnosed a very rare skin disease called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. This disease suppresses the body's ability to produce collagen. So the skin loses its elasticity and premature wrinkles appear. Only 1 of 5,000 people in the world get this syndrome. But Sarah's case is not only rare, it's severe. Her muscles and joints are weak, and her skin is soft, dry, and covered in wrinkles. At the age of 20, Sarah, according to her words, looked like a 40-year-old. At 26, it was like she was already 50. Can you imagine what emotions that must have caused? However, Sarah did manage to gradually cope with the disease, and so successfully that she decided to choose a career as a model. In the end, any differences make us unique and therefore beautiful. The more diverse we are, the cooler. Adrian Lewis. When you look at Adrian Lewis, you don't even think that she's any different from the absolute majority of people on the planet. But this is only until the girl opens her mouth.
I can touch my nose. I can touch my chin.
Or rather until she shows you her tongue, because its length is over 10 centimeters. That's almost 4 inches. Adrian considers her tongue to be the longest tongue in the world, and at the age of 13, she even made it to the pages of a book that collects unusual things from all over the world. Not a Guinness Book of Records, of course, but check this out. She can touch her nose, chin, elbow, even her eye with her tongue. So I'll wait for you to try it yourself. Don't forget to write the results down in the comments. Well, if you're wondering how Adrian could grow a tongue this long, here's the answer. It's all about genetics and the habit of constantly sticking it out. In elementary school, she even scared away bullies by simply clicking her tongue in their faces. Don't try to repeat that. Seriously, don't. Don't do that. Victoria Wright. Vicky Wright, then Vicky Lewis, was only 4 years old when her face and then her life completely changed. A rare genetic disease called cherubism, which only 200 people in the world have, deformed the lower part of her face. It wasn't easy growing up with such an unusual appearance. It garnered stares from children and even adults alike, and by adolescence, the disease got worse. In addition, the girl experienced frequent attacks of pain in the eyes, head, and nasal sinuses. It would seem that with such a hard hand of cards dealt to you in life, you might be tempted to shut yourself off forever from everything and never talk to people again. But Vicky did the impossible. No, really, I didn't believe it when I read it. Not only did this deeply inspiring girl stop worrying about the reaction of others, Vicky made a real point of loving herself the way she was. And this is not a metaphor, not an exaggeration. When Vicky was offered an operation to reduce her jaw, she said no. Vicky says she's used to the way she looks, and she's quite satisfied with her appearance. Gotta love someone whose hardships only make them stronger. Maria Oz. Unlike many other characters in this video, Maria did not become known for her unusual appearance, or rather not only because of it. Maria creates impressive animated stop-motion videos. It all started with small videos, but the better they got, the more people subscribed. In the end, people started to recognize Maria in the streets, but you've got to admit, her appearance is memorable. Once you see those huge eyes, you'll never forget them. Well, I think everyone profiled here has been a fantastic, life-affirming reminder that each person is unique in their own way, and that the more variety we humans have, the cooler. Subscribe to the channel. Oh, you've already subscribed. Well, like the video then, please? Done that too? Jeez, I guess I got nothing else for you. Oh, how about a little cat video? Cute! See you later.